Can we just talk about the anti-blackness that exists in the Latino community? Because it's a real thing. And it is only further perpetuating the division between our two communities and contributing to the overall oppression of our two communities. And I know there's going to be some people out there that's like, that's not even a thing. That's not a real issue. But it is. I grew up hearing freaking racist remarks made towards black people. And I heard it often. And I know so many other people did. And not only is it about anti-blackness, it's also about internalized racism that some Latinos, including myself when I was a child, felt the need to be white because I saw white people being treated better. And in my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm white, or if I consider myself white, or if I tell people that I'm white, then I am going to be treated better. I didn't understand as a child why I even felt that, but we are socialized as a society to want that unless you break out of the freaking matrix and you realize, oh my gosh, we're all being oppressed by the same freaking systems. So for us to have division and for there to be anti-blackness in our community is not helping anyone. One, it's just wrong, but two, it's only further perpetuating the oppression that already exists in our freaking society. So there's that part. And then there's this whole dismissal of Afro-Latinos because Afro-Latinos exist, yet sometimes are classified as not Latino when in reality they are Latinos, Afro-Latinos. And then there's this whole freaking connection to where we find ourselves in American history, okay? And the fact that many people, many Latinos, Latino men in particular, did not want to vote for a black and Asian, but a black woman, okay? And then there's the intersection of machismo, internalized racism, anti-blackness, and all of it contributing, again, to the further perpetuation of oppression of our communities. That's what I need people to understand. When there's division between our two communities, that is purposeful, okay? Because these systems, these people in power want us to be infighting, when in reality, there's a lot more that we have in common. We are also being oppressed by the same systems. We should be supporting each other. And it is because of black people and their advocacy that we, as Latinos and other communities, have the civil rights that we have today. The ability for us to even be able to have that privilege was in large due part to black people, okay? So I need us to understand that. And I need us to have a conversation about that, because even if we were brought up that way, that doesn't mean that we can't change. That doesn't mean that we can't do better, because we can. Okay? Even if society socializes to believe that, we can change, we can do better. So if you want to have this conversation, follow for more.
What if the idea of black and brown unity is just another lie we tell ourselves to feel safer in a system that was never built for us? Survival ain't the reason they don't side with us. It's preference. Think about it. In prisons, they don't roll with us. On the job sites, they don't hire us. In their homes, they don't want us dating their daughters. And in the courtroom, they often vote for policies against us. But my people want to cling to the few who march like it erases the ones who mock. And before you say that's not all of them, ask one of your Mexican partners what mejora la raza means. It means to improve the race. But improve it how? By whitening it. By erasing blackness. Go on and sit with that for a minute. They dance to our music, they talk like us, they move into our neighborhoods, and we let them. Then they gatekeep jobs, culture, and even respect, and we let them. This ain't about racism, man. It's about rivalry, because nobody imitates what they pity. They imitate what they envy, and deep down they know what we got can't be copied. So maybe it ain't hate. Maybe it's hidden competition. Maybe it ain't ignorance. Maybe it's inherited bias. Or maybe blacks was never meant to look for allies. Just remember who we are. I love my people. I hope y'all safe out there, and I hope you get home safe. And y'all have a good day.
What's up with all the black people saying that nobody can say the N-word, Latino and Latinos can't say the N-word? You have effectively marketed that word and sold it. You have turned it into a cultural item. It's in every comedy show. It's in every movie. It's in every music.
The way that you're not embarrassed to come on here and fight just to be a scavenger. scavenging off someone else's culture. It needs to be studied. Could you imagine if black people casually walked around calling each other wetback? Hey, what's up, my wetback? I bet you wouldn't like that. You should be focused on combating the issues impacting your own people, like ICE raids and illegal deportations. If only Mexicans and Hispanics, who fight so hard to say the N-word, put that same energy into fighting for your own rights, the same way you fight so hard to leech off of a culture that isn't even yours. It's truly pathetic. Assimilation is still so ingrained in so many weak-minded Mexicans and Hispanics that you take pride in wearing the identities of other people because you have no pride in your own. Instead of embracing your own culture, you scavenge off others, in this case black culture, hoping proximity to blackness will make you relevant, cool, and maybe even powerful, because most of us are aware of the global impact of black culture. Flex your own culture with the same energy that you try to flex black culture, and just keep it moving, because this is embarrassing. And before anybody says that no one should be using the N-word, that is none of your business unless you're black. And that is for the black community to decide and no one else.
Like, how are you guys handling this? Because I can't. Like, they are hunting us down like animals.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you don't listen to black women or people of color to say, don't vote for this man. Just because you look like his skin color, do not vote for this fucking man. And here we are. Yeah, they're hunting all of us down like fucking animals, because that's what they see us as, is animals. And you want to come on here crying and complaining. That's the problem, is everyone who was fucking light-skinned Latino or whatever the fucking case may be thought that y'all would get a free pass just because you guys were light-skinned enough. But y'all definitely weren't white-skinned enough, and that's the problem. You really thought they had your fucking best interests at heart, and they're not. And it's fucking embarrassing that this country is literally building itself on literally racism. That's what this country is now. It's no longer home of the free, land of the brave. It's land of the racists and land of the white hooded people who want to go out and control every goddamn thing. Literally, that's all it is. So don't jump on here crying and complaining, saying, are you guys okay with this? Of course we're not fucking okay with it. But this is the consequences of your guys' fucking actions, and it's fucking disappointing, because every goddamn time, it never fucking fails, the people that are light-skinned enough always fucking think they're white-skinned enough to go ahead and pass. And the people that are pissed off when they read this fucking video and be like, what do you mean white? The people who are white already know that I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the racist motherfuckers in this goddamn country.
Big old stress pimple, because I cannot believe I gotta get on here and say this, but this is Trump's America, so here we go. One black person does not represent the black community in its entirety. One Latino does not represent all Latinos, so on and so forth. So those of you generalizing in the comments are just as ignorant as the woman in that video. Black people, it is okay to say that the woman in the video does not align with who you are, just as I can say that the 59% of Latinas who voted for that monstrosity of a human does not align with who I am. I do not care how many of us voted against our best interests. We are not the same. And those Latinos who voted for the 34 count convicted felon, if we took a deep dive into exactly why that is, we would have to confront some real ugly truths about our community. But not all of us are ready for that conversation. But education is the answer to all of this. Conveniently, there is a war on education in our country currently. There is a war on research, a war on science. Why? Ask yourselves why that is. Because the more sick we are, the more stupid we are, the more separated we are, the more powerful they are. When will we stop giving them so much power?
Hey, fellow Latinos, I'm not saying it's okay or right that black people are like, no, let them fend for themselves. I mean, honestly, it is okay, but I'm not saying like, yes, let's do that, because unity is what helps us. But also, like, I know it's not supposed to be transactional. I just need you guys to start thinking, because you guys are like, all gung-ho, active out there, unified together in the streets now.
But where were you when the George Floyd protests were? I personally was out there with my friends who were Asian, Pacific Islander, Mexican, and Puerto Rican. And then I'm Mexican myself, and a white husband. We were out there, okay? And I've gotten comments from people in my community, people in my family who have been like, well, you think you're black. What about me? What about my content? What about the way I speak, the way I act? What about you makes you think that I think I'm black? Oh, because I advocate for black people too, as much as I advocate for my people? It shouldn't be transactional. You shouldn't have to have a dog in the fight to care. You should just have basic empathy. You should just care about people. You see a sad story, oh, you cry. You want to help out however you can. You guys see that all the time. You see a puppy in danger, oh, let's rescue all the puppies. Why is it so hard to do with humans? Black people don't owe us anything. But even one of the major interviews going around about the guy whose girlfriend was taken because they were just recording, in that there's a black man who's in the background and he's like, si se puede. He's out there. He has nothing to gain from this. So think about that. Don't go back to the anti-blackness. Learn and stop saying the N-word. Do that. Stop saying the N-word and humble yourself. If black people tell you something's offensive, change it. Change it and don't become defensive.
Now, thank you for watching. I want to give a relationship between the Latinos and blacks, which portrays that it has been complex and multifaceted. So both of the groups share experiences of racialization and economic inequality in the United States, but they also have distinct histories and cultural identities, some which include shared experience of discrimination within the United States and also kinds of marginalization that the people of these two groups have faced in the country. Another thing that they share is the similar socio-economic challenges such as poverty and limited access to social amenities like school, proper education, access to better health care, and also job opportunities. These are some of the challenges that these two groups have faced in the United States. Another shared commonality is cultural exchange and collaboration in music, art, and literature. However, there are also differences and tensions that have existed between these two groups, that is, historical and cultural differences such as distinct experiences of slavery and colonization, competition of resources and opportunities, since the resources that have been allocated to them are so are little or not enough for them to share. So another thing that they share or have a difference is social and economic priorities. Some notable aspects of Black-Latino relations include solidarity and coalition building. Many blacks and Latinos have come together to advocate for social justice and civil rights within the United States. Cultural fusion. These two cultures have always come together in unison when they're being celebrated. Challenges and conflicts. Both have been tensions and conflicts between these two communities, but they always sit together to rationalize or come up with a way of addressing these challenges. Now let's break down these into sections. First, we start by the historical interactions and the struggles that the Latinos and the blacks have shared. Both of them have faced systemic racism, I've said that before, discrimination and economic inequality. The civil rights movement and Latino rights movements have intersected and influenced each other, making these two groups having a common way of working together. Another thing is shared struggles against oppression that have led to solidarity and coalition building between these two communities. Another thing that I want to talk about is the cultural exchanges and collaborations. Music genres such as salsa, Latin jazz, reggaeton have blended the African and Latin American rhythms. This makes their cultural belonging to kind of have a common ways of doing these or collaborations. Now there are dishes also, that is food, like arroz, corn, polo, and feijoada, showcase African and Latin American cultural influences. Art, murals, graffitis, and visual art have combined the blacks, that is the African blacks, and the Latino Americans, and their themes are always kinda the same. Let's talk about contemporary issues and challenges. Racial profiling and police brutality has been centered in these two societies, with the blacks and Latinos being affected immensely in the United States. You remember when Floyd was brutally killed by a police, and the police has never been apprehended even right now. Another thing is the socio-economic disparities. These communities have income inequality as compared to their white counterparts. Lastly, let me talk about personal experiences. Many individuals have formed close relationships, friendships, and alliances across Black and Latino communities. Cultural exchange and appreciation have enriched personal experiences and broadened their perspectives of interactions. Another one is that these individuals have navigated cultural norms, languages, and historical contexts, making them look rather similar in how they handle their activities. So when you have watched these videos I've just shared, it shows that these two communities share a common belonging, and that they have to stand up or step up for one another, as been seen in this video. A Latino or these Latinos have shared their experience with the black people and are saying that they need the blacks just as the blacks need them. That is the message that this today's video is trying to bring across. If you're watching us for the first time, I'm urging you to make a subscription to this our channel, because it makes us have a longer relationship. This is Blacks Are Humans. Blacks Are Humans is a channel that is broadly based on ensuring that we call for equality and end of racial segregation. That is the message we always bring across, because we need a society where everyone feels part of it and blacks are seen as humans. So just make a subscription, you'll hear more about what we share. Also, do not forget to like, share, and make a comment on this video. Thank you, and may God bless you.